Good morning, direct marketing class. So this morning we will continue on our chapter 4 discussion regarding the consumer and business mailing list. So sharing with you, so we're going to have our part 2. So the course content that we're going to discuss as of today are the profiling. How are we going to know the customer profile list? And the number 4, which is the list selection guides, the renting and evaluating mailing lists. So these are the 3 topics. So to begin with, what is a customer profile? All right, let me discuss a few. So a customer profile tells you everything about the people you want to bring onto your customer list. And we have discussed it previously on the different chapters that taking the customer information is very vital so that we may be able to understand them more. And if they are related to our business, na pwede natin sila maging target market with that. Right. So it's said to be the customer profiles, or the also mentioned as the buyer personas. They are designed to help you understand more on what are yung ideal customers natin. So, we can send them personal messages or craft marketing messages to them, and with the address of able to address the challenges and the needs, and of course to attract them in our business as well. So we're going to discuss what are the customer profiles and how I will be able to create, and as well as what are the best practice and what are the benefits if we will have a customer profile in our business as well. And I'm going to share with you as well the different customer profile example that you may be able to use in the future as well. Okay, so these are the basic information that we all know, the demographic and the psychographics and the other information. So those are the age, location, the income, the turnover, hobbies, job title, purchase habits, challenges, and the goals. So bear in mind that we not only access the customer profile, but as well as the business to business profile. So a business to business customer profile should also include the firmographic data of their targets, such as their company size. Yung company size ito is it a corporation, a sole proprietorship, or a cooperativa, yung mga ganun tipo. And the employee count, how many employees are working in that company, and as well as the annual turnover. When we say annual turnover, those are the employees who are resigning and was replaced with a new staff. Bakit ba natin kinakailangan din makuha din yung information na yun? Well, of course, so that we may be able to know kung gaano kadami yung laging nawawala sa kanila, who would be also a lead customer in our business. So customer profiles are often referred to as buyer personas or user profile. So there are different terminologies when we say customer profile, buyer personas, or the user profiles. So each term essentially means the same thing: a single document that lists the key demographics, the interests, the behaviors of your target customers. So to know more before we start our customer profile, we should also learn what are the benefits or what are the advantages if we're going to create a customer profile for our business. So let's study one by one. Before that, there is a research from TechValidate found that there are 99% marketers cite being able to create. So may mga marketers na they can create on their own customer profile. So how many percent would be very important, extremely important with them? They took at least 73% na they said that it's very important. Lahat ng mga information sa customer profile would be very vital for their company. And some said that there are 26% said that it's still important for them. And at least 1% is not important. Okay. Let's discuss each benefits. So first here is, it's easier to find new leads. So madali daw tayong magkaroon ng new leads if we already have this customer profile. In what terms, right? So if you have your own user profile, o ito nga yung customer profile, you already have those information of the traits ng target customer mo, isn't it? So with those data given to us, example na lang, yung customer profile niya, it informs us that they have different communities involved in, yung mga online communities. At alam naman natin yan, yung mga groups tayong sinasalinan. But then you check with that, which is in relation with your business. Diba? So it will lead you to another prospect customer. That's why it states that it's easier to find new leads because of those customer profile. I hope I'm making this clear. So the next one that we have here is you can quickly qualify new targets. So, dahil nagkaroon ka na nga ng leads doon sa profiling mo, there are example, meron kang mga, doon sa sales team mo, nagkaroon sila ng leads doon sa pinadala nilang mga promotions. Okay, but bear in mind that not all of them will be 100% sure that they're going to purchase. Di ba? Normally kasi pag nagpadala tayong mga promotion, it's either they're going to ignore it or reply back. Or di ba, they will really buy online. So depende yan. So there are only 25% of them that, sabi nga, that they might not actually be the people you want to convert na talagang to be in the target market. And even though at least na-screen mo na siya, na-qualify mo na yung mga bagong targets o bagong consumers with that being said. Okay, so next here is that we have here, it helps with account-based marketing. If this is a new word for you guys, let's study what is the meaning of account-based marketing. So it's a strategic approach to sales and marketing that uses highly targeted and personalized communication to win new business from a specific company. With this, it is also said na hindi lang naman with the new businesses as well as with the other consumers. So, but then again, this account-based marketing, it will always be useful for the sales and marketing side. Na either we have to personalize, communicate with those leads. For example, if your business, if you wanted to give quotation dun sa mga big companies, diba? We normally give our company profile stating all our details, yung mga product features that we are engaging. So when we say personalize, yung pagkalagay po pa lang ng address, ng information ng mga CEOs or ng mga may-ari noon, it's already a personalized communication with that. So one report found that 52% of consumers are willing to share personal data in exchange for personalized offers or discounts, something that you can that you can use customer profiling to take advantage of. So with regards to this, ang laki ng percentage whereas the customers are willing to share what information that they have, as long as it is there is a good offer o discounts na binibigay natin sa kanila. And this is a good prospect if you're going to have a personalized communication as well with them, na mag-reply back din tayo sa kanila. Then lastly will be, you're going to build a customer loyalty. This is the best part of having this, the benefits of having a customer profile. And it's said to be, if we have this loyalty, it only means to say that you're already most successful in your business because you already focus on yung customer retention na sinasabi natin. keeping at least the existing customers around, and then we are going to encourage them to become loyal to our brand. And moreover, we are continuously persuading them to purchase time and time again. So repetitive consumer on our product or the service. So on the next slide, it states here na it costs 5 times as much to attract a new customer than to keep an existing one. So it's very crucial na we have to maintain a loyal customer kasi it will take you more, it will be equivalent to 5 times to attract to sa mga bagong new client. And how if most of them will not be retained? So ganun siya. Moving on, let's study on how are we going to select. These are the list of selection guide on how to create a customer profile. So it will ask us a snapshot of the potential customer, taking the details of the demographics and as well as the psychographics behavior. And there are also, it's either business to business, yung customer profile, versus the consumer customer profile. So this will vary on the needs of the business. Then the third one, you may need multiple profiles. It's either both, itong business to business, or and as well as the consumer customer profile. Or otherwise, if you have a small business establishment, it's either you just have to write it down. Meron tayong logbook, and okay na sa atin yon. But we can still reach out with this with a customer profile. Pag may mga promotion tayo, pwede nating i-text sila, or otherwise, kapag may mga Facebook accounts sila, we can still reach out to them because of the customer profile. So let's see how to create a consumer customer profile. So this is an individual only sa ating target consumer. So if we're going to take the demographics, these are the following lists that we need to take. So from the gender, the age, the income, home ownership, yan, alamin natin if they own the house or they are just renting or whatever status that they are now living in it. Yan, if it's on a mortgage, yan. And then we have to know how many members of the family they have and what are the ages. And what is the profession or the consumer or otherwise yung kanyang kabiya. And if they have pets and other political party affiliation. When it comes to psychographics behavior, we will consider the following as well. If the consumer has a subscription with the different businesses, example na lamang kung sa mga magazines, if they normally subscribe, yan, or otherwise online, and then we have to know their hobbies, and then what are the clubs they are attending to, and the charities, and then as well as the mail order online purchases. We will know this kind of psychiatric behavior through the questionnaires that we're going to let them fill in dun sa customer or dun sa consumer customer profile. Kasi when it comes to mail order o kaya dun sa mga online purchases, we will be able to know if there are repetitive customers na how many times are they normally order online. Yan. What are the type of products that they normally purchase online? Kung mahilig ba sila bumili ng mga damit or basic needs lang ba or yung whatever products that they need. Yan. So we can understand their behavior as well. So how about how to create a business customer profile? So now we're referring to the business to business naman. So what are the details that we need if we're going to take the demographics? It's the industry, SIC. Then second will be the company size, which are the employees, the sales volume, and the contact person, who are the owner, okay, the owners, the manager, it's either as the CEO or if there's a board member, yeah, now we have to contact, or the vice president or otherwise yung mga lower titles. When it comes to psychographics, we will understand then dun sa mga business establishment nito if they have the subscribers to industry trade journal. Paano natin malalaman din yun? Then of course, it would be taken from them na probably they're subscribing this mga trade journals na yan. Then if they're members of the industry trade group, then if they are attending the industry trade shows and conferences, and if they are buyers of similar products by mails or online, it would be much better if we took all of this information, if we can, at least somehow know if there are frequent buyer online or by mails. Now let's study more on these typical customer profile templates to give you an idea kung ano ang itsura ng ibang mga customer profile. So with this, ganyan lang naman din kasimple. If you need a picture of the customer and then there's a demographics information, yan, you just have to fill in. And when it comes to overview, it's just like a Facebook information din siya. You have to provide the description of the customer. And as well with the behaviors, you might be asking how, when, and why does the customer use your products? So it's an open, closed question to answer all of this information dito sa profile na to. And we will also know what are the joyful interactions. So it's either a question mo dito if they are very satisfied, unsatisfied, or fairly enough, parang ganon. And same thing with the frustrating interactions. Okay. And on this part, the customer communication notes, we will just have to write it down if they have their feedback or if they replied back to our mails or emails. So this is one type of the customer profile. So another feature of the nito ay the professional overview of the customer profile. Ayan, nakalagay din dyan lahat ng mga information ng industry, ng kanyang role, ano yung trabaho niya, and how many years siya nagtatrabaho, and as well as the responsibilities. If he's a manager, then ilalagay din nila. Yan, medyo very detalyado on this part naman. Okay, and what are the products used? So these are your option in the future, in just in case that if you're going to create a customer profile, just to give you an idea, yung mga dapat ililista natin. Then next would be on this part. Yan. Another sample of this. Yan, open-ended question din naman to. How did your customer discover you? Probably meron kang, it's either a multiple choice na you were discovered through online, through Facebook, through referral, through word of the mouth. Yan, what was the research process? So these are the additional questions that you might be asking with your potential with your customer profile. Okay. Next would be the customer profile here. Yan, ito yung pinaka-basic one that we can have here. So the background or the demographic, the decision-making of the customer, and what are the product alignment? What are the products or services does the customer see value in if they're going to know more on your product? Okay, next would be this one. This would be the last. So yeah, different types of different feature lang ng mga customer profile. So now let's study more on how are we going to rent and evaluate more on the mailing list. So let's see here, there are 5 mailing list rental considerations for effective direct mail. So we have first we have to determine how many times you want to use the list. As mentioned earlier on the previous topics, that sometimes you can rent at least once, depending nga yan sa paggamit mo nung listahan na yon. If within a year you send emails or you're sending delivery mails sa mga customer ng twice a year. So it's either repetitive natin gamitin siya twice a year. Ayan. So let's see. Mailing lists are rented for a set number of uses. You cannot buy a list outright, nor can you rent it once and then use it multiple times without paying the lease owner the appropriate rental fees. Kasi nga naman may property, ano yan, may property rights sila because they own that information. Right? Kumbaga sila nag-build up those information. And with that, there are certain contracts if you're going to rent with the brokers. Yeah. So lease owners or the SIV mailing lists with recipients who track and monitor lease usage. So begin your mailing list project by knowing how many times you plan to use your list. Most companies choose one-time use until they know the list works of them. So basically, we have to plan first kung ano yung magiging objective mo sa company mo, how are you going to have the direct marketing sa kanila. So if you choose to have a mailing list, tuwing kailan ka magpapadala ng mga promotions mo sa kanila, if you're going to use it once or twice in a year. So meron naman daw mga companies that they only use it one time. The second one here is we have to find the rent list for your business. As mentioned as well, now we have to take the appropriate customer information that we're going to use pag magpapadala tayo ng direct mail or ng mga email. Yan. So create a customer profile, outline the demographics of the most likely customer. We already took the information kanina, yung how to create a customer profile. So it would be better if once we have those information, we will align them. Titingnan natin kung sino lang yung mag-fit in dun sa business natin. Kung if you're having a restaurant, then you can take the details na yung mga mahilig kumain sa labas o mahilig kumain trippings sa mga iba't ibang klaseng kainan. And then, knowing your target customer and developing a specific profile. So we will always narrow down yung mga choices na yon. So the companies that provide lists offer the customers many choices in selecting the right recipients. And we learn the list of yung mga team na who will be able to help us, di ba, when it comes to taking the mailing list or the customer profile. Third here is that once you rent, the order, the appropriate output. So we're only referring about the electronic file if we can get that immediately doon sa brokers. The number 4 here is choose response list over compiled list. And we know already the difference between the response list. So it would be better, mas malaki ang percentage na they would buy or be a purchaser of your product dahil nga nag-respond na sila doon sa una nating direct mail. So the pros here is compiled list generally cost less. Yun lang ang advantage of having a compiled list. But we know na not exactly all the customer data or information dun sa compiled list, which is taken only from the yellow page or sa mga directory or from other companies, I would be your exactly target market. Okay, and then the last here is save NICSIS. Bakit ba natin sinabing NICSIS? It's the direct marketer's lingo or language for return mail. So there are many list companies offer a return policy. So kung halimbawa how can I say, yung direntahan nating mailing list, it should be an agreement between you na mayroong mga return policy. So have a policy and system in place at your company to gather and process the return mail. So just in case that there are certain times na hindi naging effective yung mga mailing list na yun, nakakaunti lang yung percentage na nag-reply. So it says here, if you can get a few pennies credit for each return piece of mail, so much better. Para hindi ka naman malugi dun sa binayad mo sa renting ng mailing list. Okay, just to give you an information because I can't find any information on how much will it cost if you're going to rent a mailing list or any customer profile from a broker. But I have it here. This is the average cost for the rent on email list. So for a targeted email list, you're going to pay at least $200 to $400 sa 2,500 to 5,000 names lang. Okay, ng consumer list. But if you're going to take a business list, it will cost you 300 to 600. So if you're going to convert to $400, it will cost you at least 20,900. Probably you might be wondering na would this be applicable on my business? It will it be applicable to all kind of businesses? So depending nga yan sa pangailangan mo if you really wanted to concentrate on direct marketing. How are you going to promote more on your business, and if you really wanted to retain your customer as loyal as they are. So number 2 here, there are often additional costs associated with an email list marketing campaign. Yes, I forgot to emphasize na this rental is only regarding an email list pa lang ito. So normally they require or they may cost around 500 to 3,500. So it's very much expensive pa. But then again, the assurance of, yung feedback, yung reply ng customer to your ads or to your promotion would be enough naman to suffice the cost that you have incurred. So another here, doon sa email list sample cost, ang lalaki ng mga figures na medyo malulula tayo. But other companies are willing to pay with this amount of money because they know what would be the impact, ng reply back ng mga consumer at either it would be 50% or, more than that they will reply back dun sa promotion mo. So with this, just to give you an idea of how much if you're going to rent, and we said that it is just a one-time cost if you're going to rent this mailing list to those brokers or to the agents. So I hope you understand well with regards to the consumer and business mailing list, how it is important as well. Probably you might be thinking right now, would it be applicable here in the Philippines? Oh yes, it still will be applicable, and it will help you to introduce more on your company and retain your loyal customers with you. It's basically, as we said, na communication is always the key to our clients. All right, so hope you understand. If you have any question, you may drop a personal message on my account. Thank you for listening and hope to see you next week. Thank you.